Hey everybody, thanks for joining us here on 9 News Watch for a detailed look at your Colorado weather forecast, which is going to include a pretty significant chance for some high impact snow for your day tomorrow, and that will include us here in the Denver area. We have more details on why this is going to be a high impact event, despite the fact that we're only forecasting a few inches worth of snowfall as we get into your day tomorrow. But in the meantime, it's still nice out there. Currently 41 here in Denver. We got up to 52 yesterday. Hey, Kremling. Big goose egg for you. You're at 0 degrees up there at the high elevation valley floor there in Kremling. Gunnison at just 10 degrees. Again, those valley floors as usual on the colder side, but we're generally speaking talking about 40s and 50s along the eastern plains, so very pleasant for this time of year. We got a few more degrees still to go. Denver should get up to a high right near 50 degrees, some 30s and 40s for us along the eastern plains, and a few low 50s, including Colorado Springs and Trinidad. And then you get on up into the mountains, 30s. And 40s, generally speaking, aside from some of those colder valleys, including places like Gunnison, as well as Durango and Telluride, which will be in the 20s and the 30s. Tonight, we see snow develop. It'll be around 12 degrees for a low temperature as we get through tonight, and that is behind our sharp cold front that'll be responsible for that snow that we've been kind of talking about here for the last little while. So here's what you need to know about the snow and what we're forecasting as we head over the next few hours. So the heaviest snow, and this is the thing I really want to get across to you, the most important point we can take away is it is going to be dumping snow during that morning commute tomorrow morning. So again, that is the big takeaway. The snowfall amounts, 2 to 5, 3 to 5 inches worth of snowfall for us here around the Denver area. Yes, that is a low to medium type of snowfall total for us here in Denver. Of course, hey, we live in Denver, right? We're used to getting our snows of maybe 6, 7, 8 inches plus at times, certainly in March and April. So 3 to 5 inches of snow might not stand out, but the thing, again, I want to get across to you is that snow will be coming down heavily during that morning commute. 8, 9 o'clock tomorrow morning, oh man, it is just going to be coming down. Foothills, 4 to 8 inches plus. I do think somebody's going to come in with 10, 12 inches. I'll show you where specifically we could see some of those 10, 12 inch totals here in just a second. So let's kind of walk you through things, all right? As we get through tonight, we'll see that snow develop from north to south. So that snow first starts up around Cheyenne, Fort Collins, Loveland, northern Larimer, northern Weld County, somewhere around midnight. Then that snow slides south along I-25, and it'll push its way into the Denver area probably just before dawn tomorrow. That'd be my guess. Somewhere around 3, 4, 5 a.m. we'll see that snow first start to develop here into the Denver area. Then as we head through the morning time frame, that snow continues to push its way off to the south. So Denver will be talking about that snow really starting to fly right around 6, 7 a.m. So right around sunup tomorrow, we'll see that snow really in earnest starting to kick up for us. Then that heaviest snow, we're going to get a cold front that pushes its way through the Denver area as we head through that morning rush. And along that cold front, we're going to see a narrow band of some pretty heavy snow slide its way through the Denver area, and that's going to coincide with that morning rush. So man, oh man, we're going to be talking about, it is going to be a disaster out there, I would imagine, tomorrow morning during that morning rush. It is not going to be fun at all. We're going to be talking about 1 inch plus per hour snowfall rates right at the worst possible time. So Mother Nature, if you're listening, if you could push this up a little bit or push it back a little bit, we would really appreciate it, but I wouldn't plan on that here, folks. I would plan on a pretty rough morning drive tomorrow. I think we're going to be talking about quite a few school closures tomorrow because of the timing of this. And by the way here, folks, it's still going to be snowing after the morning rush. It's just going to be a lot lighter by the time we get to about 10, 11, or noon. And by early afternoon, that snow really does start to wind on down. And by the evening rush, that snow should be pretty much all done for us here across the Denver area. So kind of hour by hour here, how this looks as we get through your day tomorrow. 8, 10, 12 still snowing. Again, the heaviest stuff will be between about 6 to 10, 7 to 11 in the morning tomorrow. With, again, during that morning rush, looks unfortunately like the peak time for the snowfall. Then by about 2, 3 o'clock or so, this should be over and done with. So we'll see that snow 2 to 4 inches, generally speaking, maybe closer to 3 to 5, depending on where you are across the metro area. Here's a look at those snowfall amounts that we're forecasting here at 9 News. Was just confirming with a couple of my colleagues here about these snowfall totals, and here's what we come up with. It's about 2 to 5 for us here in Denver, generally speaking. Probably closer to 5 inches. You head just west of 25. As you head just east, DIA, Aurora, Sydney Park on south through the DTC, we're probably looking at closer to about 3 to 4 inches of snow for us. Maybe a few, an isolated 2-inch total or two, but most of us should be in the 3-inch plus range. Again, you head west of I-25, we're probably be closer to about 4 or 5, maybe even 6 inches. And then you get on up into the foothills and the Palmer Divide, so Highlands Ranch, Littleton, on west into Golden, Arvada, west side of Arvada in particular, Evergreen, Morrison, Conifer, the usual spots. That's where something's coming in 10 inches out there. This is going to be a storm that favors that side of the metro area a bit more, similar to last Friday's, but Denver sees a bit more snow than what we saw last Friday. So that's going to be the difference, I think, for many of us, is that Denver actually gets in on the action this time. Last Friday, we just saw a few flakes. It wasn't a big deal here in town. This one will be a fairly big deal for us. And I would say the big point of emphasis, again, the totals, you look at 2 to 5 inches, 3 to 5 inches here in Denver. That's not usually the kind of event that leads to big impacts for us. But because of the timing and the heaviest snow coming smack dab during that morning rush, I'm pretty concerned about some of those impacts to the morning commute. So I would anticipate that we could be talking about fairly widespread school closures tomorrow. Certainly delays. I would say closures are going to be quite likely for your day tomorrow because it'll still be snowing after the morning rush, and a delay would probably push back just because we're talking about school start times, 7 or 8 a.m. most times. If you do delay things an hour or two, then you're talking about a start time of 9, 10 a.m., and that's right around when we could be looking at that heaviest snowfall. So again, I would be leaning, in my mind, towards more school closures, but certainly going to be talking about widespread delays. And again, I would probably lean to most schools being closed tomorrow. Hey kids, do your homework. Do your homework. But again, I would say that we're going to be looking at school closures for your day tomorrow. Once you get beyond that, we get another light chance for snow on your Thursday. And then I think we may see a slight chance for another one Friday night, Saturday, but the snow chance on Thursday doesn't look to be as significant as the one that we're looking at for your day tomorrow. Looks a lot lighter and, again, a bit more isolated, I think, for your Thursday compared to what we're expecting for your day tomorrow. And then we warm back up, so that snow will not last all that long. In typical Denver fashion, that snow melts on up pretty quickly once we get past this next few days. But again, all emphasis on that morning commute tomorrow. It is going to stink. If you can work from home tomorrow, work from home tomorrow. If you, again, if you're a kiddo out there or your parent wondering about that chance for a school delay or a closure tomorrow, it's pretty high. But again, do that homework in case we are talking about, well, do your homework anyways. But in the meantime, thanks so much for joining us here on 9 News Watch. I'll have your full forecast coming up at 9 News at noon as well. And also, meteorologist Danielle Grant will be in at 4, 5, 6, 9, and 10 tonight with more details on that snowstorm that we're looking at here across the Denver area for today and tomorrow. In the meantime, thanks so much for joining us and have a great rest of your day.